we are on to number 7. And this is a game that did not glitch much, unless you wanted it to glitch because you were speedrunning it. It is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Have you guys seen that speedrun where they just fire himself?
Yeah, these guys would like they'll shoot an arrow at someone and then they'll jump down on their shield and then their shield would do something and then they just explode into the air and just fly across the map.
Guys, I think that's actually one of the reasons this game has got a 10 is because of its physics system. Like, it is such a cool game, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's a game that I've finished. It's a game that Luke has. Have you finished, or you played just an immense amount of time? Yeah, second playthrough. Sorry, he has finished, and it's a second playthrough. Brad's played it. What do you guys think? Breath of the Wild.
I think out of all the games on the list, this is my number 110 thus far. Like, I'd say if I had to rank them thus far, 1, because I haven't played Royal. Sounds really cool. 2, I haven't finished Final Fantasy, so stay tuned. That could, shuffle up. But out of the games we've gone through, I'd say Breath of the Wild is number 1, purely because exploration. The story is still great. I love the little pieces of the story that you get throughout, and then there are side quests that you can only learn as much as you want to. And it's like the game, you just take it at your own pace. And I beat all the divine beasts a while ago, but I'm just cruising. I'm enjoying the scenery. I'm going through, finding little puzzles, finding little shrines and caves and all this stuff. And then we also have a friend who just started as well. He's probably, by just started, I mean, I think he's beat his first or second divine beast, but he's like 40 plus hours in. Yeah. And he we'll get messages from him and be like, oh frick, I just killed Sally, being his horse. And just being like,
he's like, I didn't know I could kill my horse.
And then I'd be like, without spoiling, like, there is a location if you want to know to revive your horse. And he's like, nope, I've moved on. I found a new horse.
And he won't let you spoil.
He doesn't let us spoil it all. So I remember him.
It's great hearing him though.
For those playing the character of, as in those who've played, they know Lionel. And what that is. And our friend Damo, like, we got a message maybe like 20 hours into his gameplay being like, oh my goodness, I just seen Lionel. And then being like, after like 8 attempts, he just goes, I just ran away and I haven't touched him. We're like, no, Damo, if you want to progress in this game, you have to be good enough to beat it. Like, you just have to. And he eventually did it. I think he like 20 or 30 attempts type of thing, which is the same as me. Like,
when I first approached it,
it was like, because you had to actually use the mechanics. And it's like, it actually has a rich combat mechanics. And for the first playthrough, it was just hack and slash. I was just like button mashing the crap as you just swing your sword and stuff. But then, man, like the complexities of being able to roll and dodge, not roll, but like dodge and leap. And like all this stuff is just like so useful. Then I just went Lionel hunting. I just hunted them all. I'd go and just find the most powerful ones and just... It was just great.
Yeah, I spent a while on those white striped ones, which are they one of the hardest?
Yeah,
in the game?
But I think the thing that's amazing with the DLC included, and the DLC is so fun, so hard, and so long. Like, it's actually substantial DLC, which is great.
Yeah, it is.
But I think what they've updated is also a lot of weapon variety with enemies and like how they spawn and that type of stuff, which is definitely something that I missed during the first gameplay because I feel like I got bored of enemies quickly. Because it'd be maybe the same pack of low-level moblins or something. But with the inclusion of high-ranked ones mixed in them as you progress through the game, and also, like, for example, Lionel's, but then with different weapons, and those different weapons change the way they would attack, and their attack patterns change, so therefore it's not just like, oh, it's white and striped, that must be hard. It's like, well, this guy's a club. And his club is totally different from the dude with the sword. And the sword's totally different from the dude with the shield. So it's like you start learning new combat mechanics. I'm like, must be how people feel when they play Dark Souls.
No, it's
so it was a lot of fun.
But yeah, like I was speaking of the DLC is actually a good point because the game got a 10. The DLC actually got, I think, like an 8 and then a 7 for the second DLC that came out, or 7.9 or something like that. Right. Which is pretty incredible, like, because that's a big drop from the 10 that came out. But I 100% believe that the game is a 10. The DLC by itself, if you're playing after the game, probably is an 8 or 7. But if you're playing them all together, it's a freaking 12, man. No, but seriously, the best way that someone described it, and I cannot remember who it was or where I read it, was that it's like reading a book, Zelda, and the DLC is like the lost chapters. You know what I mean? It's like chapter 12.5 and chapter 18.5 or something like that. It's the lost chapters in it. yeah, it's nice to read the entire book to the end of it and then read the lost chapters being like, oh, I want a little bit more of that book or taste that book. But how much better would it be if you read that entire book with those chapters in it to really explain it more, to get more out of the rich world and all stuff. And that's what it does. Like, that's what it is. You need to do it within the game. And playing the game again for Luke and playing the game for me with the DLC in there was, I think, really key for my massive enjoyment of the game. Like, there was just so many added things. And finding the masks, like I found the Majora's Mask early, and you can just walk up to like moblins and some of that, and they don't kill you, they don't do anything. And then all of a sudden, you're just spinning around and hitting them all. So, yeah, I if anyone hasn't actually played Breath of the Wild, pick it up and pick up the DLC.
Yeah, it's so impressive.
It's really so good. And Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out, so, well, actually for probably like 2 years, but still, you can get G'd up.